Welcome to Advent. Have you noticed the decor and lights of Christmas increasing as the dark night seems to enfold us? And all of this from Halloween on. Yes, this paradox seems to mirror the polarities we find ourselves in. Wow, somebody told me recently that as the poles start to shift, the energy in the middle becomes wild. Why? Because the images that hold each side, each pole, the images that give us our sense of identity, the sense of the meaning of life, and even our sense of God, are not strong enough to hold this wild energy in the middle. And that's the world that Advent says, watch, stay awake, wake up, get a grip, stay alert. Notice what's happening around and within you. 9 months ago, we were invited into the darkness as the virus of COVID-19 engulfed us. And the second virus of fear 2020 took over in our lives, dividing us politically, ideologically, socially, I'm going to say even killing us to what was going on inside of us and killing us to one another as we turned away from anyone we did not understand. Into this, Advent says, wake up. Notice. Yes, what's happening around us, but notice what's happening deep down within us. And so right now, I'm going to invite us to take a minute to ask, to notice what's happening. What are the deep longings, deep within you? Can you find a longing for peace? Can you find a longing for hope? And what about a longing for connectedness? A longing for healing? A longing for love? If you find any of these longings inside of you, that's where the Holy Spirit is praying in you. You're pregnant with God. Yes, pregnant with God praying right within you. Stay alert to this longing. Let it grow inside of you. Let it become you. And what's your response to that longing? Are you willing to carry it into the world through this Advent? The second week of Advent invites us not only to stay awake, but to listen up, to really listen to those voices crying out in the wild spaces between the poles. Every single one of them needs to be listened to. Every single one of them has a gift to offer. Listen, ponder. Are some of them calling you to comfort? Are some of them inviting you to speak a word of tenderness? If so, stay with those voices. Listen up, because they are the voices that are going to help you make straight the way of God. Yes, in listening to those voices, in staying with them, the second Sunday also says, what kind of a person are you supposed to be? And then it answers right away, conduct yourself in holiness. Holiness. Right. Wholeheartedness. Let this comfort take over your mind, take over your heart, take over your whole being. Let this tenderness become you. If you do this, you will make straight the way of God. Listen, ponder. Let your whole being give birth to comfort, give birth to tenderness. And then the world will say, here is our God. There is nothing of which to be afraid. May this be done unto you this second week of Advent. And please show up next week as we hear the invitation of the next week of Advent.